I want to go back to last year's Moscone Cup and the first night. USA are 2-0 down and you're going out to play Niels Fine. Now, we know you beat him at the International Open, but going into the Moscone Cup, 2-0 down and playing Niels, did you feel the pressure in that match?
Well, it was kind of brutal because the team match, Alex Kazakis broke and ran the first rack, and then Niels broke and ran the first rack in our singles match, so I really didn't have much feel of the table, so I just tried to play simple, which pushing out to a jump shot really isn't simple, but you have to make opportunities in those situations. Short races, anything can happen, so just glad I was able to get on top.
Did you have nerves before that match? Did you feel that it could be as important as a match as it did turn out to be?
It's really all just a blur, to be honest. You know, with everything going on, I was just trying to focus on my breathing, my shot selection, obviously keeping the shot clock in mind. I'm a little bit slower player, so I have to do that. Unlike Skyler, who he could play on a 10-second shot clock, and it doesn't bother him at all. So, yeah, just kind of a blur, to be honest.
For you, the way you played on your Moscone Cup debut, do you now look back on that with a lot of pride?
To be honest, as professionals, I think that's the way we're supposed to play all the time. You know, it's our job. We're supposed to run out. We're human. We're going to have bad days. But, I mean, we make a living by running out. So it's not any added pressure or anything like that. It's just what we're supposed to do.
We can see as guys who don't play but watch a lot of pool, how much you're improving or still improving as a player. Do you feel like yourself?
Yeah. I think if you try to improve like 1% each day as a player, I mean, that's going to add up to a lot at the end of the year. So little bits every single day make, you know, a lot. And I think if we all focus on doing that as individuals, we'll have a really good chance to win this year.
And what would it mean for you if you're selected for the team this year?
Being out there, it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, no offense to the Derby, but right after the Moscone Cup, and I took a little bit of time off and went to the Derby, and it wasn't the same, you know what I mean? You kind of have this like lull. It's just not the Moscone Cup. So you kind of have to get back into grinding mode and go from tournament to tournament. But yeah, it's great out there.
Last year it was obviously a very European crowd with a lot of noise for the European team. This year there's going to be a lot of American fans there. Are you looking forward to perhaps having the chance to play in front of a home crowd this time?
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it. They've supported us through all the bad years. So hopefully we can give them a good year this time and really show them what we got on home soil.
So as a guy who's watched lots of Moscone Cups in the last few years, how does it feel to actually be out there wearing the American jersey?
It's unreal. I watched every single year, screaming at my computer, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But you get out there and you're like, okay, this is not easy. You know, so it's just a blessing, to be honest.
And you impressed a lot of people, not just with your performance at the Moscone Cup, but in tournaments all year. How do you deal with that sort of praise? Is it something that you quite like to hear? Do you have to put it to a side?
I think you kind of have to push it off to the side. You appreciate it, of course, but you have to push it off to the side and just humble yourself and know that, you know, your last match doesn't matter. You got to go out and do it again. You know, if you just praise yourself after they do, you know, you get a little bit lazy and you just don't want to go back out there and get to the practice table and put in the work, and really you're only going to do as well as, you know, the amount of time you put in. So.
And of course you've been to a lot of international tournaments this year. You've just come from China to Russia. Just tell us a little bit about your year this year.
Yeah, Shane was telling me, he's like, you got to get to international events. You know, it's a really big deal, and I think the secret to winning is actually losing. If you go out and lose a lot, you know, play a lot of these tough players, you get a little bit ticked off. It motivates you to practice, you know, instead of just staying in the U.S. and playing a little bit more of the local tournaments. So the international competition is just light years ahead, you know, so I think more of us need to travel as much as we can and play the Chinese and the Taiwanese and the Europeans and the Filipinos, and the list goes on, so you have to do that.
Of course, when you were out in China, you had the opportunity to go and watch some snooker as well, and you saw the former Moscone Cup player herself, Ronnie O'Sullivan. That was pretty special. Yeah,
thanks to Emily for hooking us up. We actually ended up with staff passes while we were at the Shanghai Masters, me and Corey. So we got to hang out and watch them guys, and unbelievable. They make it look so easy. We saw some rough matches, of course. Tables and conditions are so tough, but we got to watch Ronnie play and do his thing, and it was awesome.